Story 1. My name's Colin Harper. I'm 28, and I live in Evergreen, Washington. I work the night shift alone at a tiny roadside diner off Highway 12. Not much foot traffic, but enough to keep me awake. I know this sounds crazy, but I swear I found something in the freezer. It started after midnight, and I was drifting in and out of sleep while washing dishes. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but I thought I saw the lights flicker, like someone walking by outside. The neon sign above the door buzzed like it was on its last spark. I rubbed my eyes, leaned against the counter. I wasn't even really paying attention. I'd been up 18 hours, and the diner was quiet except for the old jukebox hum and the wind rattling the door. Then I heard the freezer door click open. It's one of those old chest freezers, bottom pull, metal latch, so loud when it opens. I didn't go look. Maybe I should have. I told myself it was just the latch slipping. But then I heard scraping. A soft scraping, like something metal against metal. My heart started pounding, but I swallowed back the fear. I'll go check in a sec, I told myself. I finished washing the plates, every muscle aching, and finally slid open the freezer. Nothing, just stacks of frozen burgers and steaks. But then I felt the temperature drop at the back where the old meat locker is. I reached in, and my hand brushed something cold and slick. I yanked it out. It was a pair of scissors, covered in something red and thick. I squeezed my jaw shut. I know it sounds crazy, I whispered to myself, but that's not my blood. Blood pooled in the plastic tray below, dark and glistening. It filled me with this sick pit of dread. I backed out, slammed the freezer shut. My hands shook, my head foggy. I called the local sheriff. Twice, no answer, just voicemail. So I cleaned it up, tried to pretend. I couldn't leave. The diner's my rent. I stayed, though every time I touched the freezer handle, I nearly vomited. A few nights later, just after I closed at 1 a.m., a guy stumbled in. Didn't know if he was a hitchhiker or just drunk. He looked pale, like he'd been hit by a truck, bruises forming on his wrist. Said he'd been walking for hours. Asked for water. He didn't say much else. I hated him the instant he sat down. But I gave him water, a grilled cheese, and he nodded like that was enough. He left. No thank you. Heavier footsteps than he should have had. Door slammed shut behind him. At 3 a.m., I hear scraping again. My stomach twinged. Memories of the scissors, of the blood. I creep back to the freezer, flashlight in hand. Scissors are gone. No sign of them, but there's this smear inside. Dark, almost black. I flicked off the light and ran, but not before I glimpsed him. The guy from earlier was crouched inside, face hidden, singing under his breath. I couldn't make out the words. I sprinted to the office, locked the door, jammed the chair behind it. All I could do was lean against the door and hear his footsteps, tat, tat, tap, around the diner. The jukebox drone, the pipes creaking. I texted my buddy Sam, trembling. Someone weird in freezer. Bleeding. I can't. Sheriff's off grid. Help. And he texts back. Stay locked. I'm coming. I didn't know if I'd made a mistake. He'd be here soon, I hope. The tapping stopped. I held my breath until my throat burned. Then, silence. I heard Sam's truck pull up. God, that engine noise felt like salvation. I burst out, nearly slacked him, dragging him inside. We sprinted to the freezer. He cracked it. Empty. No sign of anything. No scissors. No blood. No man. The freezer was bare. I'm at home now. Daylight's burning my eyes. Sam stayed to cover the shift. I can't go back. I'm too spooked. I grabbed my stuff and bolted. I haven't told the sheriff yet. Sam thinks I should. I can't. If I call, they'll record, ask questions, look around. What if they find nothing? I'll look like a loon. I keep waking in the middle of the night, thinking I hear freezer doors. My phone buzzes sometimes. A snap of scissors opening, or that distant clang of metal. I haven't opened it to check who. Maybe it's Sam messing with me. Haha. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. But maybe there was something in that freezer, and I let it go. I don't have an ending for this. I don't feel brave. I'm living in a motel now, drinking bad coffee, staring out the window. Nights are loud. Cars on Highway 12, distant voices. I don't know if I'll ever sleep again. I just know I keep hearing scissors, and I'm alone. No closure, no mercy. Just me and that blood in the back of my head. That's where it ends. I'm sorry. Story 2. My name's Marcus Ellis. I'm 32, living in Ashwood, Oregon. I work the night shift alone at a 24-hour gas station just off Route 42. I know this sounds crazy, but I started hearing footsteps around the pumps. Footsteps, not cars. And it wasn't even raining. It began a couple weeks ago. Around 1:30 a.m., I was scanning receipts behind the counter. I mean, I'm tired, I admit it, but I'm pretty sharp. The store's quiet, except for the hum of the AC and the cash register's beep. I looked up, no one in sight, but I heard a slow, steady step shuffle across the pavement. Click, click, shunk, shunk. I thought maybe someone was at the pump, but then it stopped. I shrugged it off. Could have been a raccoon or something dropping trash. Who knows? That night, I close early around 2:30 a.m. Well, I locked the door and headed out to mop the floor. I'm bent over, pushing the mop, and I hear breathing. Like deep exhale, inhale. I jerk up, heart racing. I look around. Aisles are empty, displays in place. I thought, maybe I'm imagining it. So I go toe over the rear door. Locked, lights off. But I kept hearing it, that breath. I backed out to the office, slammed the door, leaned hard. My knees shook. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but I swear it matched mine, only louder, ragged, like someone in pain. Next night I was filling stock, energy drinks, snacks, back room. I left the cooler open a few seconds too long. Fridge lights flicked. I grabbed the last case, slammed the door. Behind me, wham. Something heavy fell. Not cans, bigger. I didn't dare turn around. My hands jumped. I dropped the case. I froze. Sorry, I know I said don't use that line, but I literally just stood there. I mean, if you were me, you'd feel stuck in your own body. I shouted, "Who's there?" Silence. My voice shook. I backed out, grabbed my phone, and texted my buddy. "Dude, I think someone's messing with me." He said, "Call cops." But I didn't. I couldn't. I don't want that on record. So I pushed through. I turned on the alarm lights. Those weird red strobes, they never let you turn off. I sat in the back room, sweat beading. I tried to fix my breathing. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but I thought I saw someone standing behind the glass door to the restroom. Not walking, just standing, head tilted. That bathroom only opens from inside. The toilet flushed. I heard the door click shut. I sat there, wondering if it was a customer who waited so long they were passing out or something. But no footsteps coming back out. Then, the next night, Monday, around midnight, something really bad happened. I was in the store, ringing up a guy in a hoodie, his face hidden, voice low. He asked for something behind the counter. I told him I couldn't, of course, and he left. The door chime rang. I thought, okay, normal. But then I went to the cooler and found the back wall smeared with blood. At first, I thought, paint? Ketchup? But then it was warm and thick, finger mark streaks. My gut dropped. I dashed to the sink, fingertip touches. It was blood. Human. I gagged. I ran to the office, kept phone in hand, dialed 911. No signal. Dead zone. Of course. I grabbed a bleach bottle. I cleaned it up. It bled into the rag. I saw red creeping through cloth. I scrubbed harder. This is where the murder mystery shreds in. Because I started piecing it together, there'd been a local woman missing. Last seen in this area. Late night. That same hoodie guy was caught on the surveillance cam. I watched the loop over and over. He drops something behind the counter and leaves. I rewind, zoom in. Looks like scissors? No, a knife. A small folding blade. Why would he leave it? Maybe it cut him. Maybe it cut her. I pressed pause. I watched his face freeze for a second. I thought I saw a grin. After cleaning, I restarted the night, but I couldn't. My hands still shook. I wrapped the knife in paper towels and stashed it in my locker drawer. Call me stupid, but I thought at least I'd have evidence. Something to hold on to. Then, 3 nights later, I hadn't slept. I was pushing through, scanning receipts, preparing for morning delivery. Doors locked. And that's when I heard it again. Footsteps at pump 3. Not paced like a person walking. They were uneven, heavy. I figured I'd grab the night vision cam feed. I slipped to the back, booted the software. I stared at the screen. Breezeless night. Then pump 3 lights, flicker. A figure steps in the glow. Tall, skinny, hood. I rubbed my eyes. When I blinked, he's gone. But the pump pre-auth reads 0.00, as if someone tried to fill up. I hit record. I feel like a cop thriller, but from inside someone's broken brain. The footage corrupted itself. Glowing lines, camera tilts, scratches. File ends. I watched it again. It ends right when the figure lurches. It looks like the figure lunges at me. But file stops. Did he come in store? I didn't stick around to find out. I left that night. I pulled everything. Tapes, receipts, sanitizer. I drove out, keys in pocket, phone off so I could think. I've been sleeping in my car. I guess somewhere in me, I thought if I left, if I stepped off the asphalt, it would stop. But at 3 a.m., I wake up, hearing footsteps on the hood. Click, chunk, chunk, and my Jeep's wipers are scratched. Weird grooves across the hood. My mirror's cracked, and there's a single smear of blood. Just a fingerprint, fresh. I know this sounds crazy. I wake up, swinging the door open, nothing but road. I tell myself, there's no hooded stalker, no murdered woman, no supernatural angle. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. Maybe it's some junkie pulling stunts. But the blood, the footsteps, that corrupted footage. I don't have proof. I didn't go to cops. They're gonna find stolen footage. No body, no scene, no crime scene. I'm stuck. Alone. No friends letting me crash inside. I lay here in my seat, watching the dashboard bleed red in neon pump lights. I keep that folding knife taped to my thigh. I'm ready to run or fight or trash my own reflection. I don't want to be here. I don't want to die here. But I know something's following me. That track, I hear it in my dreams, in my car at 2 a.m., behind the trees when I drive home at dawn. So maybe here's my ending. No resolution, no hero, just me, trapped between the pumps and the whisper of footsteps, blood in my veins and fear in my bones. And each night I ask myself, am I safe or just alive enough to hear the next click chunk? That's it. I'm done. Until tomorrow. Story 3. My name's Tyler Brennan. I'm 27, living in Cedar Falls, Iowa. I work the night shift solo at the Moonlight Inn, a dingy 12-room roadside motel on the edge of town. I know this sounds crazy, but I swear what I saw out there tonight, nothing about this feels real. I got hired a few months back after my barista gig fell through. The inn's practically deserted most nights. I handle check-ins, light cleaning, and the usual small talk with the one guest who shows up. Alone, just me, a busted old desk, and a coffee pot that never works right. The place is silent enough to hear your own pulse, unless something else decides to make noise. It began last week, around 2 a.m. I was heading back from room 5 with towels. Hallway carpet smells like old mildew. That's when I heard banging, like someone hitting the wall inside room 8. 2 quick knocks, then a thump, as if someone dropped a suitcase. I stopped dead. I don't even remember taking a breath. My hands shook. I thought, maybe it's the guest. He's an older guy, stays up late, coughs a lot. So I kept going. Then I heard coughing. Not that normal smoker's cough. Something low and deep, patient and guttural. Came from just down the hall by room 7. I spun around. The door to 7 was shut. Guest checked out 2 days ago. Registry confirms nobody in that room. I tell myself, Tyler, you're tired. Just life in your head. So I ignore it. Yesterday, I was at the desk, half watching a late-night documentary about crop circles. I don't even believe in conspiracies. And I heard it again. First the coughing, then whispering. Soft, indecipherable. Someone murmuring right outside the office door. My chest tightened. I grabbed the flashlight, walked the hallway. Nothing. Doors all locked. Nothing but stale air and the hum of the wall heater. I left the flashlight leaning against the desk and sat there. Did I imagine it? Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. I texted my sister. I swear I'm losing it. She said, get sleep. But I can't sleep. I don't even know why I'm telling you this. Then tonight, the worst night, around 4 a.m., I was microwaving like usual, half asleep. I was pondering why coffee gets rid of all that sleep debt when I heard a door lock click in room 9. Only I haven't had a guest in 9 for a month. That gave me chills. I mean, in my head, I know I'm not allowed to use that phrase, but I felt chilled. I walked over, yanked the door, but locked. I knocked. No answer. Flashlight through the peephole? Nothing. But then I saw it. A handprint smeared on the glass. Dust pattern, smudge, and under it, a smear of red. I swore. I know this sounds crazy, I muttered to myself. Staring, I stared at that mark. I backed up. Tried door. Still locked. I cleared my throat, shouted, "Hey, you okay?" No response. Heart pounding. I walked away, but couldn't shake the sight. I kept thinking about that cough, the whispering, the locked door. A few minutes later, I checked the minicam in the lobby. It has a night mode feed. I logged in on my phone. The feed shows door 9 swing open by itself, then slam shut, then static. Weird glitch. I hit refresh. The feed goes dark for a second, then flashes back. No one there. But the door's open this time. Creeping me out, I shut off the camera, tossed the phone aside. Then the phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered. Just breathing. Deep, slow breaths, and a faint creak like floorboards. I hung up. I stared at the phone. The unknown caller repeated 3 minutes later, hissing, breathing. I blocked the number. Next call, blocked too. I shut off my ringer. Between me and silence, I thought I was safe. Then I heard something in the laundry room clatter, like metal pots. I walked in, light on. Nothing. Just stainless steel carts and old detergent bottles. But on the floor, a puddle of red liquid. I stared and realized this was blood. My hands jerked. I stepped back. Too fast. I think I screamed. I don't know. Something rattled inside me. Blood trailed toward the back door. I shone the light. Tracks, bare footprints heading out into the asphalt. I swallowed. Didn't know whether to call someone. My phone offline again. This place is in a dead zone. No cops. No cell. I texted my ex. Of all people. Emergency. No reply. I trailed the blood outside to the parking lot. The full moon bleached everything pale. Tracks led away from the motel building, toward the edge of the cornfield. My gut twisted. I took a step in. I'm not gonna lie. I stood at the edge, staring into those tall rows, dizzy and terrified. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but I thought I heard breathing from inside the field, like someone standing just past the edge. I shook my head. I couldn't process it. I pulled out the folding pocket knife I kept in my pocket. Stupid idea, yeah. But what else could I do? If there's someone out here wounded or sick, I stepped to the field. Corn stalks towered. I saw a shape. Thin, tall, hooded maybe. It backed away, then flopped to the ground. Something metal fell. I flicked the flashlight beam. It landed on a knife, my knife, lying on the grass. Next to it, a dark pool, bright silver under the light. No footprints around it, no shape, just the knife and blood that seemed to slide away. It slid into dry soil. My head thumped. My vision spun. I dropped to my knees. My fingers hovered over the blood. It glistened. And then the whisper, right behind me. 2 words. Stay with us. I couldn't move. I turned slowly. Nothing. Just field and moon. I crawled back to the door, every step hearing that whisper behind me. Closer. I slammed inside, locked the door, and pressed my back against it. Breathe. Breathe. My phone buzzed. Blocked number again. No text, no voice. Just buzzed. I screamed inside. I felt tears hot and stupid. Now I'm in the office. Dawn's light is seeping through blinds. I'm pale, hunched. There's dried red between my fingers and on the floor. I couldn't leave. I couldn't go back out there. But I can't stay. My shift ends in 2 hours. I don't have a plan. I can't go to cops with no phone, no proof, no guest. What would I say? Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. Maybe there's some local graffiti artist messing with me. Maybe it's animal blood or rust. Maybe a prank. My rational brain screams those things. But this feeling in my gut, it's screaming louder. So this is it. No resolution. Just me, sweating in this office chair, watching cornfield shadows stretch. Nights are longer here. Silence is heavier. And somewhere in that field, something watched me. I know it's still out there, and I know it's waiting. That's all. No ending, just night, blood, whispers, and me, goddamn terrified.